Welcome back to our episode. Ryan here with Chaos MMA, and today we have on Julio Arce, who's coming off a great win at UFC 273. Julio, man, how you doing?
Good. I'm feeling freaking great. Taking a nice walk right now and just enjoying the day.
Yeah, it seems it's a beautiful day out. It seems and everything else, and you're coming off a great win a couple of weeks ago. So how's life been for you? You enjoying it? I bet it's amazing right now for you.
Oh, dude, it puts me back on the win column over someone who was a prospect out of Oliveira's camp.
Yep.
And now right back to it. Now right back to business. Luckily I didn't take any damage this fight, so right back to training.
Yeah, I saw you were back in the gym on a Instagram story and everything. You're not taking a break. You see some fighters, they take a break after a fight, but you're right back in the gym helping your teammates. And I think that's so cool how you're still on there, everything else. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, man. Like when I know training camps take a lot out of a fighter, but I want to just back in there, even if I'm not going like crazy hard, like in a fight camp. I still want to make sure I'm keeping my weight down. I'm staying active, and a bunch of my teammates got fights coming up. So, and like real close in May. So yeah, like in the month of May. So I want to be there in the gym helping them out, just like they did for me.
Yeah, I want to get into about two of your teammates actually later in the interview, but I wanted to ask you about your fight. You go out there, you get the decision win. Your striking looked amazing. You pieced him up. Is that something you thought would be the deciding factor in this fight? While you're in camp, like the striking and beating him in that factor.
Yeah, just keeping it very basic on him because, as we watched a lot of his fights, he did a lot of straightforward guy. So our game plan was picking angles, hit, and just keep the jab, all footwork and jabs.
Were you shocked at all? Like he kept coming forward throughout the fight and you were landing some good shots and you're like, how is this guy like still going like this? Were you shocked at all during the fight that he's still coming forward, still doing that?
Oh man, he comes from shooter boxing, which is in a very aggressive camp. And I knew this guy was just gonna keep coming forward no matter what. So I was prepared for that.
And speaking of, you go out there, you win 3 rounds. It's going to the judges' scorecard. Were you confident this fight was yours? Were you confident this fight was yours going into it? Because you see sometimes judges mess up, but you were confident, right? This was your fight.
Yeah, like the only thing I always think about is like, when you have like me, I like to move around. I like to, circle around the cage. So I don't know how how the judges would see it, but the fact that I just kept on just popping my jab and keeping him at the end of my punches and just keep just scoring on him. That was the whole thing. Just score on him because he's not going to stop coming forward. Then, it's like, if you just score on him, it's like, that's who you're going to win the fight. It's like, don't try to, like, don't force anything. Just tag him, and just stay busy.
Yeah, and you said about your opponent how you expected him to come forward and everything else. Is this kind of something you expected? Because he is like from that Oliveira camp, and you see with Charles and everything. Like he is a guy that always comes forward. Is that kind of like why you thought it? Because they have that similar style, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was it's exactly everything that we that's kind of how I fight. I like to move around, I like to make angles, I like to hit. That's the way I fought, in my first UFC fight and other fights. And I'm like, this works great because he's just boom, in your face, straightforward, and he's trying to corner me and just trying to hit me with one of those either spinning kicks or big shots. So I'm like, all right, let's keep this guy moving. It's like, don't stop moving, make him frustrated, and then just work from there.
Yep, and you did that great win down there in Jacksonville. How'd you celebrate down there in Jacksonville after the fight?
Dude, honestly, after my fights, it's like, don't matter whether I took damage or not. It's like you're tired after. I'm like, I just want to eat something, go to sleep. I'll celebrate later when I get back home.
What is the go-to meal after that fight? What is your go-to meal?
Well, right now I'm trying to get a group of people and have some Korean barbecue right here in Flushing Main Street at this place called Cast Iron Pot, which is like right by where I live. Great place for Korean barbecue.
That sounds really good, man. It does. And speaking of being active and everything else, you were active last year. You had those 2 fights, and you're already 1 fight in 2022. Is this something you want to do this year again? Get another fight in or 2 and stay very active.
Absolutely. The only way to climb up is to stay active. So that's why I'm back in, getting my work in, and then just making sure that everything is like injury free, working on what I need to work on, and get ready for the next one. Hopefully
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see you back in there soon and everything else. And any specific opponent in mind, someone you think that's going to go out there, you put on a good fight, get the fans in it and everything. Any specific opponent or just someone, anyone else?
Like whoever they offer, and then we'll get ready for it.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking forward to your return and everything else. And last two things here. Thanks again for the time. I really do appreciate it. You do train one of the best featherweights in the world, as we know, in Shane Burgos. I just wanted to ask you, how much has that helped the both of you? Because I'm sure you're both learning from each other so much. Your striking's getting better. His game's getting better. How much has it helped both of you and everything?
Dude, that dude's a savage. Freaking love Shane. It's great because like we're constantly just learning so much from one another. Like we have two different styles, which is great because then, he does what I do, and I take I take from what he does, and we just build each other up. And we got like, and also our other teammate, Mike Trezano, who's fighting soon, I think June or July. We got this other kid, Solomon, who's fighting soon. He's gonna, work his way up. We got another kid, Rob Ricchio, who's, he just came off a big knockout not long ago. He's looking to get back in there. And I got a bunch of other teammates who are fighting too. And it's great, dude. We got a freaking great room. Great room.
Oh, yeah. And I wanted to ask you about one other. He has a fight now, May 14th. Me and my buddy who does this with me actually went to school with him. We know him. Ryan Burgos has a fight. So have you been helping him out with his fight and everything else?
Yeah, man. Look, I like when I'm not getting ready for a fight and anybody needs a body, these guys, I'm like, yo, let's get some work in. And any way that I can help my team, like elevate, it's like, I don't care. Do you want me to stand? Like, you want me to stand righty? You want me to do this? All right, I'll go for it. Because also, me, I'm learning stuff as I go too.
Yes. And I'm sure he looks very good too. I'm sure, right? Because we saw he's looking amazing.
Yeah, kid's a savage.
No doubt, no doubt. And for you, thanks again for your time. It's great speaking with you. I look forward to your next fight. And if you want to thank any sponsors, shout out any social media, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, man. I just want to give shout out to everybody, especially my team, Tiger Showman's. Yeah, we're on the come up right now. We got a lot of people, fighting. I got my teammates, Danny Ramirez, who's fighting in combat, Ricardo, Ryan Burgos, hopefully one of our new pros, Christian McCauley, who's going to be fighting soon too. Hopefully you get him an opponent. But we got a lot of people, a lot of up and comers, a lot of people making their pro debuts, really bringing up the next generation, and proud of all these guys, proud of my team.
Yeah, I'm sure it's amazing to see and everything. And yeah, thanks again for your time, man. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
You got it, my man. Take care.
You too, man.